The Galactic Council's laughter still echoed through the crystalline halls when they dispatched their gift to the struggling Kepler 442b mining colony. A single human consultant, Marcus Rodriguez, to solve what 3 different species engineering teams couldn't. The unstable reactor core that threatened to turn the entire facility into a radioactive tomb. Send the Deathworlder. Ambassador Velnari had chirped through his breathing apparatus, his species equivalent of barely contained mirth. Let him touch the burning metal with those primitive hands. Perhaps he'll even try to fix it with percussion maintenance. The other council members had found this endlessly amusing. Humans, after all, came from a Class 12 Deathworld, a planet so hostile that most civilized species required full environmental suits just to visit. Earth's gravity alone could crush a Zealothy's hollow bones. Its oxygen levels would poison a Threnody, and its wildlife. The Council preferred not to think about Earth's wildlife. Marcus arrived at the colony 3 days later, carrying nothing but a standard toolkit and wearing what the colonists recognized with horror as merely work clothes. No radiation suit, no atmospheric processor, just fabric and synthetic leather boots. The reactor room's that way. The colony supervisor, a trembling Altarian named Rix, pointed with one of his 4 arms. But you'll need. Marcus was already walking, pulling on simple work gloves. I read the specs on the way here. Your magnetic containment's oscillating because someone installed Zealothy standard dampeners in a system running Threnody power cells. Different harmonic frequencies. Rix's translator struggled with the next sound Marcus made. Something between amusement and annoyance that humans called a snort. The reactor room door bore 17 different warning symbols. Marcus glanced at them, then pushed through. The heat hit him like a physical wall. For 50 Kelvin, hot enough to boil the blood of most species instantly. Marcus just rolled up his sleeves. Interesting, he muttered. Approaching the core housing where radiation levels peaked at 200 rads per hour, the Altarian supervisor, watching through monitors, nearly fainted. Those levels would kill his species in seconds. Marcus opened the housing barehanded. Inside, the containment field flickered dangerously, purple energy crackling against failing dampeners. He stuck his hand directly into the field. Stop! Rix screamed through the intercom. The plasma discharge will. Yeah, it tingles, Marcus interrupted, feeling around inside the mechanism. There it is. Someone cross-threaded the primary stabilizer, probably during the last maintenance cycle. He yanked something, twisted, and pushed it back in place. The oscillation stopped immediately, but Marcus wasn't done. He pulled out what looked like a primitive striking tool, a hammer the colonists would later learn, and hit the secondary housing 3 times in precise locations. The entire system hummed to life with a stability it had never achieved even when new. Percussive maintenance, he said to no one in particular. Sometimes you just need to remind machines who's boss. He spent the next 6 hours redesigning half the colony systems, jury-rigging solutions with equipment the other species had deemed obsolete or too dangerous. He welded with his bare hands holding metal that glowed white-hot. He rerouted coolant through pipes that leaked chemicals that would dissolve most beings' lungs. He even used his own saliva to temporarily seal a breach in an acid line. The colony's chemists later discovering human saliva had peculiar adhesive properties when exposed to certain compounds. When the Galactic Council received the colony's report, productivity up 300%, all critical systems stable, 0 casualties, they assumed it was a joke. Then they received the video files. Ambassador Velnari watched in silence as Marcus Rodriguez, representative of a species that had split atoms before achieving spaceflight, that had weaponized diseases before curing them, that considered asteroid mining a fun challenge, turned their death trap of a colony into the most efficient operation in the sector. The humans' final report contained a single recommendation. Send more humans. We thrive in hostile environments. It reminds us of home. The Council never laughed at Deathworlders again. And when the colony's reactor finally did explode 60 years later, long after its intended lifespan, it was because Marcus Rodriguez's great-granddaughter, stationed there as chief engineer, had intentionally overloaded it to destroy an invading fleet. The joke, as it turned out, was on anyone who underestimated a species that evolved on a planet trying to kill them. They called humans Deathworlders as an insult. Humans wore it as a badge of honor.